Hello my friends, my Galaxy S20 Ultra has finally arrived, so in this quick video we will take a look at the unboxing and my first impressions of this absolute unit of a smartphone. Of course, my full review and camera review will be available very soon, but now let's take a look at the unboxing. The S20 Ultra comes in pretty standard black paper box. This is European Exynos version, and surprisingly there is no information about the device or the package contents on the box, so let's take a look inside. As usual, the phone sits on the top of the case, but before we get to that, let's take a look at what else is in the box. Of course, the charger is included and it can output 25 watts and it is USB-C charger. You will also get 1 meter long USB-C to USB-C cable. You will also get wired headphones tuned by AKG. There is no headphone jack on the S20, which means that these are USB-C headphones. There is a separate box with a paperwork and SIM tray removal tool, and that is all that is worth mentioning. To be honest, the unboxing experience is nothing special, so let's take a look at the S20 Ultra itself, which is quite special. It comes with pre-applied screen protector, which I will keep on the device for the time being, but I can already tell that it slows down the fingerprint reader quite a lot. My very first impression is that this is an absolute unit of a smartphone. With 6.9-inch screen, it is by far the largest smartphone or phablet that I have ever owned. Despite that, I found the handling to be surprisingly manageable thanks to basically bezel-less design. Not everybody is happy with the color choices on the S20 Ultra, but I have to say that I really like this Audi RS style Nardo Grey version. The finish is beautiful and I think that it looks great overall. I have some experiences with dropping phones on the first day of owning, so I will put on a case right away. Because of the size, I chose very minimalistic Spigen Ultra Thin case. It is actually quite durable and it adds minimal amount of bulk, which is the most important thing for me in this case. The build quality is great, of course. That is to be expected from a flagship smartphone. It feels very solid, definitely premium, so I have no complaints here. I don't think that the camera bump is as bad as some reviewers suggest, and as I will explain later, I think that it is well justified by the camera setup. The display is simply gorgeous. Again, as expected from Samsung's flagship smartphone. It is 6.9-inch panel with 511 ppi and it is dynamic AMOLED, of course. What I especially like is that the edge screen design is almost gone and it is basically a flat panel. There is also that 120Hz refresh rate, which looks great of course, but I'm not sure whether it is really such a game changer. Overall, the S20 Ultra will be a great device for consuming or creating content on the go thanks to this screen. This is mainly a camera review channel, so I will make a dedicated camera review of course. As you probably know, the S20 Ultra uses 4 cameras, including the time-of-flight sensor. Especially the main wide-angle camera and the telephoto zoom camera are very interesting. The main camera can shoot 108 megapixel stills and 8K video, which are quite amazing specs. What is even more interesting for me is that this is 1/1.33-inch sensor, which is quite huge for a smartphone. What interests me the most is whether that 108 megapixel sensor can render actual details or whether it is just for marketing. That sensor size also promises very good dynamic range and low light capabilities in comparison with other smartphone sensors. A lot of people were interested in my iPhone 11 Pro and Sony A7III comparison, so I will also make similar video with the S20 Ultra. I don't know what I will compare it to yet, so if you have any suggestions, please write those in the comments. The comparison of S20 Ultra and iPhone 11 Pro will be coming up later on as well, of course. Regarding some other stuff that I have noticed on the first day of using, the speed and performance is great. This is Exynos version, so it may be a bit behind in multi-core tasks, but it is so powerful that I don't think that the difference will be noticeable. One slight disappointment for me is the battery life. S20 Ultra has huge 5000 mAh battery and it should last full day of usage, but so far it seems like it won't be able to match the battery life on my iPhone 11 Pro. I will have to look further into that. A big positive surprise for me is the face unlock feature. That works very well, it is pretty fast and reliable, which is great because the fingerprint sensor with screen protector applied is quite slow. Overall, my first impressions of the S20 Ultra are very positive. I think that it is a great device for consuming and creative content, very good productivity device, and potentially a real step up in smartphone photography. I will be testing it a lot in upcoming days, so stay tuned for more videos about the S20 Ultra, and if you have any questions or suggestions, please write those in the comments. So that's it for this video, thank you for watching, I hope that you liked this video and that you found it to be useful. Stay tuned for more videos and maybe consider subscribing if you don't want to miss my future content. I appreciate your feedback in form of thumbs up or thumbs down. If you would like to ask anything or share your opinion, please do so in the comment section, and see you next time.